All right, let's get some yoga on, huh? Are we ready? Let's do it. Let's take inhale, arms up high. Exhale, fold forward. We'll start with a couple of sun cells, like normal. Inhale out halfway, arms out. Nice. Let's plant your hands. We'll step back to a high plank. I was going to play some music today, you guys. So it's going to come through at the same time. Let me know if you have any issues hearing me at all, or hearing the music for that matter. It'll be a little quiet at the beginning as it kind of builds up. Woo. All right, feeling good in plank?
So good. Way to
so
hold
good.
it. Whoa. Way to trick us into holding it.
You caught on. Take one more breath in, and then on your exhale, lower to your knees, and then lower all the way down. And then inhale, come up for cobra, lifting your head and your chest, tops of the feet down. Good, and then exhale, coming back down. Nice, we'll just do one cobra right here. And then press back to tabletop. Take a couple of cat cows. On your inhale, drop your belly and gaze forward. Exhale around. So we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, drop and gaze. Exhale and round. Nice. And then feel free to change it up a little bit. So, those kind of laying in bed, low back soreness, sometimes like crunches from one side to the other. So if you work like shoulder towards your hip, that can feel good. Barrel rolls also feel great. Maybe you're sort of moving your torso without really moving the shoulders and the hips in circles. Are you guys hearing the music? Is the volume level good?
Yes, it's perfect. And I'm going to mute myself so if I'm coughing, it's not on your.
Oh, thanks. Good thing I have headphones in because the cat is now playing with his toy. He's just got to be by me. All right, back to tabletop. Nice. So take your right leg back. You're going to curl your toes under. Right, so almost like you're coming into plank, but you got one leg down. And then we'll inhale, shift forward, and then exhale, shift back. So as you shift back, you're going to pressing through the heel. You should feel your calf stretch. So inhale to shift forward, releasing the stretch, and then exhale, press the heel back. Okay, do that a few more times. And inhale forward, exhale back. Go one more. Inhale forward, exhale back. Nice. Okay, and now press into the hands, right? Really engage through the shoulders, and we're gonna lift that leg up. So right leg is lifted, just in line with your hip, right? So kind of half of bird dog. And with the hip lifted, notice if you're rolling open, try to keep your hips pretty level, and then lift your leg just in line with your hip. Good, so pressing through the heel, you can flex your foot so your toes come in towards the knee, and like activate through the heel. Good, pressing into right hand, left arm reaches forward. That's it. Good, reach forward as if someone's pulling your hand and your foot apart, like you're being, I guess, halved, not quite quartered, right? Take another breath in. That's a violent image for yoga. On the exhale, your leg will stay lifted. We'll plant left hand and then rotate open for a side plank with your knee down. So right leg stays lifted, left arm down, left knee down, and then right arm reaches up. Good. And then peek at your toes. Make sure that heel is in line with your hip or as close as you can get it. And then left leg, right, the knee, you can put the shin into the ground, maybe even the top of the foot to help find that stability, and find a little pull for the right heel. You'll feel that up in the glute. Okay, go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We'll pause in 2, 1. Pause, bend your knee, reach back and grab your foot. Good, belly button up and in. Here's kind of a dancer modification, right? So rotate right shoulder back, and then find a little kick into the foot. So it's real gentle, nothing too crazy here. But notice the back bend and the core engagement, right? So it's like a tug of war always. So you want to keep pulling belly button up and in to protect the lower back, making sure the back bend stays really safe. Good, take another breath in. On the exhale, gently release your foot. Good, so right leg once again stays lifted. Right hand comes back down. So rotate over into that half forward dog again. Woo. And then the left arm reaches forward. Now you're gonna bend your right knee and try to reach back with the left hand and capture your foot. Good, so all kinds of back bends to start. Just be super gentle, pressing into right hand, belly button up and in, gentle kick, pointing the toe up towards the ceiling. Fantastic, you guys. Good, take another breath in. On the exhale, once again, release gently, right leg stays lifted, left hand down, right hand plants. We're gonna come up for a down dog with 3 points. So the right leg's gonna stay lifted as you lift up, if you can. If that doesn't work for you, of course, you can drop the leg. So curl left toes under, press into the hand, squeeze your core, and then lift your hips up, press the heel down. Woo! Once you get there, bend your knees, circle out a few times. Good, and we'll find one more move here, scorpion dog, before we drop the leg. So right hip comes on top of the left, trying to touch heel to glute. Good, left heel presses down. Woo, inhale, right leg back up. On the exhale, down dog, both feet touch the earth. Shake it out a little bit. Left glute might need a little love. Good. On the next inhale, gaze forward. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Ooh, pause for a moment, catch your breath in a ragdoll. And then inhale up halfway, arms out. Tiny bend in the knees. Right, press into the feet. Good, making sure your toes are just resting on the mat. Take a breath in. And the exhale, forward fold. And then inhale to stand all the way up. Little bend in the knees, press through the heels, arms up in a little side bend. Grabbing onto the left wrist, leaning to the right. Good, inhale to center, change. Good, inhale back to center. And the exhale, here's a little back bend, just gentle. Elbows bend, chest lift. Remember, it's always about the lift, not so much about the bend. Whew. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale to fold. Inhale up halfway, arms out. Exhale to plant your hands, step back to plank. Sit one at a time, pressing through the shoulders. Make sure you're staying really strong through those shoulders. Good. This time, staying in plank, lift your right foot off the ground and then bend your knee and try to tap your chest. And then kick it back out and then bend and try to tap one more time. Kick it out, bend and tap. Good. Right foot comes down, left leg lift. So bend the knee, pull it in, and then tap it back up. Good. And in. And out one more time. Bend and pull it in. Ooh, back out. Tap it down, high plank for 3, 2, 1. Lower to your knees, lower all the way down. And we'll take 3 cobras this time. Elbows in, taps of the feet down. Inhale, heel, head and chest up. Gentle gaze forward. Good, exhale and lower. Inhale and lift, pressing into the tops of your feet so your knees lift up slightly. Exhale and lower. One more time. Inhale, heel up. Exhale and lower. Good, back to tabletop. Here we go, all those one-sided movements on the other side. So we'll start kind of walking up to the top of your mat if you're not already there. And then we'll kick left leg back. We'll start by curling the toes under. We'll find that calf stretch again. So as you press back, you're pressing through the heel, and then inhale to come forward and kind of release the stretch a little. Good. Exhale to press back. Inhale to rock forward. Good. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale back. And inhale forward. Last one. Exhale. And inhale. Good. So left leg lifts, and then here we'll keep it up for a while. Start by noticing the left hip. If it's rotated away high, pull it down. And then keeping the heel in line with the glute. Flex your toes towards your knees. And then keep using the hamstring. Yeah, to keep the leg up. All right, when you're ready, press into left arm. Right arm reaches forward. Remember, with left hand, you can always make a fist if it's getting a little too much on the wrist. So put your hand up on a block. Good, bicep in line with your ear. Keep reaching forward and kicking back. Good, here for 3, 2, left leg stays up. 1, right hand plants. We'll find that side plank with the right knee down. So left leg will lift up in line with the hip. Woo. Left arm up. Right hand presses into the ground. You want to feel this whole line of stability through the shoulder as you lift up. And then you can press through the right shin, the top of the right foot. Good. As you're ready, we'll find a little pulse with left heel. Good. Up and down. Just a few inches, right? Not super big movement. Good. Here's for 4, 3, 2. We'll pause in 1. Hold it again. Bend the knee. Reach back with left hand. Grab your foot. And then gently take your foot into your hand. So here's where belly button pulls up and in. So those low ribs stay pulled in towards the pelvis. As you kick back, rotate left shoulder as open as you can. So you're feeling a stretch through the collarbone. You want to bring that stretch up your neck. Maybe you look down towards right hand. Okay, take another breath in. And then as slow as you can, let your foot go. So we're kind of resisting that urge to slingshot down. Left leg stays lifted, but left hand comes down. We'll roll back into that half-bird dog. Good. And then we'll bend left knee. Reach back with right hand and find that same kind of dancer modification on this side. So press into the left hand, gently kick the foot into your hand, chest lift. Yeah, you can have your gaze wherever works. You're pointing through the toe. Okay, take another breath in. And the exhale, slow release. Whew. All right, so left leg stays lifted, both hands down. We'll work our way into downward facing dog with left leg up. So curl right toes under, engage the core, press into the hands, and then lift, hips up, pressing the right heel down. Left leg lift, we'll find some circles here to start. Good, and then stack the knee or the hip on top of the right hip. Bending at the knee, feel the glutes. Good, take another breath in. And the exhale, gently release left foot down, so we're in a full down dog. Nice, taking a moment to bend one knee and then the other, shake it out to the hips. A lot of hip stabilization pretty early on in class. Good, we'll take one big breath in here. Stillness on the exhale. Inhale the gaze to your fingertips. I'm going to walk your feet forward on the exhale. We'll meet in a ragdoll. Your breath again. Okay, let's interlace your fingers. Take your hands to the nape of your neck, and then we'll wrap your elbows around the forehead. We'll find a little bit of movement. You could sway side to side or back and forth. Okay, releasing your hands down. Inhale up halfway, so that bend in your knees. Good. Exhale, reach for your toes. And then inhale the fin all the way back up. Good. Here's that side bend again to the right. Inhale, center. Exhaling to the left. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend. Inhale to reach up. Good. On the exhale, we're going to step back. the right leg into a warrior one. Yeah. So starting with the left leg forward, just a little bit of, messing around with your brain. So first thing we want to do is notice what your hips are doing. They're automatically going to open a little bit to the right. So a nice option here is to take a wider stance. So the more space you have between your feet, the more room you have for the hips to shift. And everyone's going to need something different. So feel free to play around until you feel like you can bring your hips, if you find those hip points, more or less even. It doesn't have to be perfect. More or less even without jamming up this SI joint by giving your feet a little space. And then we'll take arms up when you're feeling pretty steady on your feet. Good. So pressing into the front heel, as always, knee over the heel, pressing straight down. You're going to find stability there by engaging that left front glute. And then back foot, little backward, downward pressure through the knife edge of the foot. Good. Take a breath in, reach your arms up really high. On the exhale, we'll find a gentle back bend. So we'll still keep the same purpose, like the lift, the stretch, squeezing of the elbows. So you can open up through your collarbones as much as possible. If it feels okay, maybe you let your head drop way back. Good. Inhale to reach up high. On the exhale, we'll gently coming down to a plank. So we'll plant the hands, press into the shoulders, and then step the foot back, holding here in plank. Nice. And then we'll take options for 3 push-ups here. So you could go knees or toes. Push-ups aren't your bag today. You could hold your plank from your knees or your toes. Nice. So you're taking whatever you want to do here. That's it. Lower down and lift. Woo! Good. Wherever you have ended up, we'll meet back in a plank. So knees or toes. Good. Take a breath in. On the exhale, down dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. And we'll inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. And your exhale, feet walk up. Good, pausing for a moment. Good, breathe in. And breathe back out. Inhale, coming up halfway, arms out. Exhale, reach down for your toes. And then inhale all the way up. Good, exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Good, inhale, center. Exhale, that gentle back bend, little bend in the knees, chest up. Good, arms reach up. Arms come down. And then this time we'll step left leg back into warrior one on this side. Left and right. Good, so find that space. I always need a little more than I think I do. So I just have to adjust, Feel free to move around whenever you need to. Feeling left calf a little bit. That's the great thing about warrior one, that back leg. So that downward pressure into the ankle. Notice if you press into the arch of the foot and then to the side of your foot, how your knee feels, how the stability changes. And then find some nice balance for you. Good, lean into the front knee. And then as you're ready, arms up. Good, see if you can find a hip flexor stretch. So usually what we gotta do there is find just a gentle kind of pelvic tilt slightly forward, which also is kind of pulling those low ribs towards the pelvis, and then keep reaching up high. Good, see if you can keep that in the back bend. So reach up high, and the exhale. So pulling belly button up and in, bending through the elbows, lifting through the chest, staying low in the front knee. Don't lose that as you reach back. Awesome, you guys. Take a breath in, arms come back up high. Exhale, gently leaning forward, plant the hands back to plank. We'll set up for those 3 push-ups again here. So as you're ready, we'll dive right into those 3 push-ups from your toes or your knees, or options to stay in plank. That's it, you guys. One more. Down and up. Good. Back to plank. Breathe in. On the exhale, down dog. Good. Take a breath in. And exhale back out. Good. Inhale, gaze forward. Walk your feet on the exhale to the top of your mat. That's it. Inhale up halfway, arms out. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Good. Here's that big side bend again. Woo. Pulling left shoulder back a little bit as you lean to the right. Good. Inhale the center, we'll switch. Good. Inhale center. Exhale, here's another back bend. Good. So as we kind of prep for dancer, right, we're thinking about shoulders opening in the front, hips opening in the front. As much as dancer is a back bend, it's really a front body opening pose more than anything else. Good. Inhale and reach up. On the exhale, we'll step in back. Once again, right leg to warrior one. The left leg is forward. If you can, keep the arms up. We'll keep the arms up. Nice shifting, adjusting, however you need to feel like you're all stable in your pose. Good, reach up high. On the exhale, here's that back bend right away. Good, so lifting through the chest, feeling the opening from the core, maybe even down into the quad. Nice. Good, and then we'll inhale and reach back up, and then keep right arm lifted. So you're gonna reach as high as you can with the right hand. Left hand's gonna cross behind your lower back, and maybe tap the back of the right leg. If that doesn't work, you can just land it somewhere in the lower back. Reach up high, and then again, find a little back bend. This should increase the stretch for the hip flexor, like down the front of the core to the top of the right leg. Woo! So breathe in. Reaching up really high is going to give you a little bit more intensity. If you need a little less, kind of cool it a bit on the shoulder stretch. Good. Next inhale, we'll come back up. Both arms reach high. Good. On the exhale, we're opening up for warrior two. So you'll shift your hips towards the right. You'll adjust the back foot. Maybe you need a little more length. Most people need a little bit more space here. And then those back toes are just slightly in from being parallel to the back of your mat. Okay, maybe a few bounces into the front knee as you open up through that adductor. Good. And then as you're ready, nice big bend in the front knee, heel or knee over the heel, arms out. Good. Check in with this right arm, this back arm. Make sure it's up in line with the left. That's it. We'll breathe in. We'll settle on the exhale. Good. Let's inhale and reverse. We'll start by reaching forward and then take left arm up and back. Yeah, right hand's going to rest on the back of the right leg to start. Engage through the legs, find the inner thighs, press into the feet, and then take your right hand behind your lower back in a half line. Yeah, good. So reaching up and back, really focusing on stretching through the shoulder joint, and then also the stability in your legs. Notice if you're crunching with the toes at all and try to relax them on the mat. Take another breath in. On the exhale, side angle, but we'll keep the half line. So left arm reaches forward, and then on the inside of the leg. Good. Now here again, we're focusing on rolling right shoulder open, so stretching through the pec. And then I actually find here, if you gaze down at your big toe, you'll actually get a little bit of a stretch up through the neck, kind of continuing from the pec all the way up to the right side of the neck. Feels great. If that doesn't quite work for you, find a neutral position, maybe gazing sideways. Woo, we feel in our quad. That's it. All right, right hand's gonna reach up to the ceiling, so normal side angle here. Inhale, we'll find triangle toes. So arms will reach up and back, straighten through the left leg, and then reach overhead. Good, and then you can play around with your gaze again. Maybe you gaze with the big toe on the back foot this time. And inhale, reach up. On the exhale, we'll slow, coming back to warrior two, actually. Woo, nice, and then we'll take star pose. We'll straighten through the front leg, pivot your toes sideways, and take your arms way up high. Good. So you really want to find that downward pressure into the outside edges of the feet here. So I always have to bring my feet so that the edges of my feet are parallel. I find that pretty helpful. You could give that a try. And then think about as if you're trying to rip your mat in half. So you should have a lot of engagement in the outsides of the hips. Good. Find a little back bend. So chest will lift. The elbows bend slightly. That's it. Keep Squeezing the core, bring your arms down and we'll come down into Pastarita. Good, hands come down to the floor. We'll take a moment here to stretch through the inner thighs. Good, take your head yes or no a few times. So if you feel like you want to bring your feet a little bit wider, you're more than welcome to do that. Getting a little bit deeper into the inner thighs. Okay, we'll take hands underneath the shoulders, lift upper body up to about a halfway lift. Walk your feet just a little bit in, and then we'll spin left toes forward, walking your hands towards the top of your mat. Kind of transforming around into a low lunge. We'll plant your hands, come back to high plank, and then once again, we'll take our 3 push-ups. So from toes or knees are always the option to hold plank instead. Good. Remember in your push-ups, you're leading with the chest, not the nose or the chin, so your head stays back in line with the spine. Good, back to high plank when you've done 3, and then down dog. Hips up, heels down. Good, give your head a few shakes left to right. Take a big breath in. Exhale, back out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walking up to the top of the mat. Okay, pausing in ragdoll. Breathe in. And breathe out. And inhale, halfway lift, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up. Good, side bend to the right. That's it, inhale center. Side bend left. Good, inhale center. Exhale, little back bend. Arms up. Left foot step back. Warrior 1. Awesome. Good, shifting and adjusting so that the left hip can rotate forward. Arms up high. And the exhale, that little back bend. Remember, focusing on opening through the chest, the core, the hip flexors down the top of the left leg. Good, inhale both arms up. This time left hand's gonna reach way up high to the sky. Right hand's gonna come around. If it can rest on the back of the left leg, great, or maybe just the lower back somewhere. Press strongly into the front heel and then reach up high. Pressing the hips slightly forward, belly button up and in. Keep reaching, lifting, and then slightly moving backwards. Just really stretching through the left side. Good, deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale back up. Good, one more time. Inhale. And stay for the exhale. Good, right arm reaches back up. And then exhale, warrior 2, opening up to the side. Good, shifting the back foot slightly back. Toes slightly in. Couple of bounces into the front knees. You open up to the adductors on both sides. Arms straight up. Good, checking in with left arm. It's up in line with the right. Nice. Take a breath in and we'll reverse. So reach forward, flip your palm, and then reach up and back. Good. Once you've settled into the front heel, take left hand behind the lower back into that half bind again. Okay, remember really opening through left shoulder. So reaching up and back, keep opening, helping to open up to the right side even. Take a breath in. And the exhale, side angle, keeping the half bind. So right arm will reach forward and then down to the inside of front leg. Yeah. And then here you can really feel that stretch through the left shoulder. Remember, if you want to play around with your gaze, maybe you're looking at your big toe here, stretching up the left side of the neck. Stay low in the lunge. We're almost out of this. Think slow breath in. Good, and exhale. Nice. Left arm reaches straight back up to the sky. Ooh, inhale, triangle. So reverse triangle, right? So arms up and back, right arm straight, right leg straight. Good. Breathe in. Nice. Exhale back. We'll take warrior two as you kind of straighten and pivot the feet. I'm going to turn around so I can see you guys. Good. So we're back in this wide-legged stance, and then arms up into star pose again. And this time before we hit our prasarita, let's take a goddess pose. So heels in, toes out, walk it out a little bit as you start to bring hips down into a squat. Hands can come to heart or maybe hands to thighs. Good. Nice. So a couple of things here. Belly button's up and in as always, right? We're keeping the chest lifted, strong core, strong glutes, knees open, but weight is still evenly dispersed through the feet. Resist the urge to roll to the outside edges of your feet. Instead, maybe you walk the feet in a little bit or slightly lift the hips. Good. All right, let's find a little twist. So hands to the insides of thighs, left shoulder is gonna drop towards center. So as you start to come down, most people feel a little bit more space to drop the hips a little lower. So take advantage of that if you can. And then keep your hips there as you inhale, come back up. The chest might not lift quite as high. And then we'll go right shoulder to center. Okay, we'll go one more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Good, inhale, center. Woo, straighten through the legs. Arms up to the sides, breath in, a little back bend. Exhale, the fold forward, pivoting the toes. Just slightly in. Remember, if you have sciatica swinging at all, you want to keep your toes slightly turned out. Otherwise, you're looking for outside edges of the feet parallel. Nice. And then on this side, let's take hands behind lower back. Interlace your fingers, still kind of work in that shoulder opening. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades together, hands come off the lower back, and then kind of starting to reach up towards the ceiling. If you've got more flexibility in the shoulders than that, please feel free to keep going. And let's find a little movement for your head. So maybe it's right to left, maybe it's up and down. Good. As you inhale, see if you can feel your lungs engage and lift, even through like your shoulder blades, the back of your lungs expanding. And exhale. Nice. Let's let your hands come back to the floor. We'll take hands underneath shoulders, turning left toes, or right toes rather, to the top of the mat. And then we'll plant the hands, gently stepping back, high plank. Good. 3 push-ups. Knees or toes. Go for it. Good. Leading with the chest, core in. Keep pressing the ground away. Chest to hip. When you've done 3, back to high plank. Good. Breathe in. On the exhale, here's down dog. Good. Take a big breath in. On the exhale here, lower your knees back down to the mat. We'll grab a quick sip of water. Good. And then we'll meet back in a child's pose. Taking a little break here. Knees open, toes touch. Good. You can get your knees a little farther open than you would, than the first child's pose in class. You're really opening up there. And then reaching the arms as far forward as you can. Forehead to the mat if that works for you. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Good, nice inhale, making your way back to tabletop. And then if you don't have your strap next to your mat, grab your strap real quick. We're gonna meet in a low lunge. The strap is handy. Yep, belt, scarf, towel, all will work. And then we'll take left leg forward and do a low lunge. Nice, and then here we're gonna open this lunge up as much as you can. So really walking that front foot pretty far forward, so less of a balance, more of a hip flexor stretch. Good, and then top of the back foot's gonna come down onto the mat. And then, notice right away if you need a little extra padding underneath the back knee, because we're gonna intensify that a little bit. So if you're feeling anything, pad yourself up or roll your mat up a little bit. Whew. All right, so looking for the stretch in the hip flexor in the back leg, hamstring adductor on the front leg. And then we're gonna see if we can go fishing for our foot. So you'll take your strap, you'll bend your knee, and then hook it over your foot. You guys got that? Might take a sec. Good. Once you've got your strap over your foot, you're gonna pull it up and over your shoulder. Woo! Yeah, and then if you can, you're actually gonna take it over the opposite shoulder. Right, so I've got my right foot strapped over my left shoulder, and my right hand is down on the mat, giving it a little bit of lift. So you can always take a hand to a block here as well. So looking to exaggerate the stretch into the quads, right? So we got hip flexor, hopefully getting just a little bit deeper down into the quads since we got the heel coming in. Right, so this is the stretch you're gonna get as we stand back up in just a few moments and practice our full dancer pose. Feeling that big front body opening. Yeah, let's find just a gentle circle for the head. Just slow breath. And then real gently, you're gonna lower your strap to the floor, letting the back leg come down. Shift your weight back, once again, carefully, right? Shifting your weight back over the right knee. Left foot's gonna walk towards center, and we'll stay lifted for a half split variation. So hands will come to the opposite sides of your leg. You're gonna lean forward over the front leg. Just watch out for hyperextension here in this knee. You wanna keep a little engagement into the quadriceps. Good. And as always, leading with the chest, with the head and the neck. Leading with the chest, more like a hinge at the hips and a rounding here. Looking for a little stretch in the hamstring. Help give us that extra ability to back bend as we move into dancer. Good. I'm just gonna shift forward, let the foot come out of the strap, and we'll just set your strap to the side. We'll walk left leg back, taking right leg forward, getting back in that low lunge on the other side. Yeah. And then just check, sometimes knees are a little different. If you need padding here, take that right away. Good, and we'll just start here with the hands on the inside, walking the right foot forward, letting the hips drop as much as you can towards the ground. Now let's go fishing for that left foot. You'll take your strap to the other side. Bending your knees, capturing your foot, and then slowly bringing the strap up and over the right shoulder. So we got left foot in the strap, coming over the right shoulder. Making sure the strap stays towards the toes, not on the toes, but slightly below. If it comes too low, then you'll lose a little bit of that extension through the ankle. Good. You getting that, Patty? Okay. Is your strap too short? Oh, no, you got it. You're just fine. Good. And then just kind of settling into it. You might feel a little different on one side versus the other. Like the stretch feels a lot more intense for me on this side. Just really getting to know your body as you learn those things, right? Nothing to do about it other than acknowledge it. Just drop right ear to right shoulder, just gentle stretch. Good, left ear, left shoulder. Good, head back to center. We'll slowly let the leg lower back down. Shifting your weight back over a left leg, right foot walks towards center, and then we'll keep shifting the hips back, right heel down, right toes lift, like toes towards the knee. A little tiny bend in the right knee, keeping that knee joint safe as you lean forward. We'll gently move the strap out of the way, off your foot, bringing right leg back. Nice. And then making our way back to high plank and then down dog. Okay, let's inhale, gaze forward. On the exhale, walking your feet up. Inhale for a halfway lift, arms out. Exhale to fold. Good. Grab your strap here, and we inhale, come back up to standing. We're going to start our dancer pose actually using a strap. Sometimes we, just don't know what to do with these straps, and it can make dancer pose a little bit more accessible, but it also can just really change how it feels. So it's not like you can't do it and you're using this, as some sort of crutch or something. It's great, even if you can do a super deep dancer with your hand on your foot, to practice things in different ways. So we're gonna start just like we've been practicing all day, left foot first. So take left foot into the strap. So kind of like you did, the same positioning that you did when you're on the floor. You want your foot, I'll come sideways here. You want your strap to be just underneath the toes. And then bringing the strap up and over. This time we'll keep it on the left side. So left foot up, strap on the left side. Good. So lots of options from here. For some of you, that's going to be enough. Maybe you put your hand on something to stabilize. Just keep working through creating this back bend. So we'll start here by pulling belly button up and in. Right? Engaging the right leg, lifting through the crown of the head. And then you want to really focus here on the core. So core lift, those low ribs stay in, but start to find a kick in the back. You're kicking your foot into the strap. Nice. So we could stay here with the hands on the strap and then practice leaning forward. And you're going to really get into that left glute and the right glute. If you want to add even more of a back bend or adding the shoulders in, you can bend your elbows and then reach back with your hands still on the strap. So your elbows kind of pulling in towards your head. We're going to add a lot of upper back bends then into this next. So belly button stays pulling up and in, keeping that kick really strong into the strap. And then you can start to lean forward any amount. Okay, this is certainly not an easier variation by any means, so go slow. Ooh, my right glute is on fire. Woo. One more thing on that side, so don't take it off yet. take a second to shake out the right leg. And one more thing here. So we had shoulders, locking the arms down. Nice. And then kicking back. Good. So if you're back in your dancer with both arms up, this time maybe take right arm down towards the ground. This is a sugar cane variation. Sometimes you see this. That's it. Nice. And then we'll slowly come back up. Bend the knee, bend the elbow. Take the leg out, walk it out a little bit. That's a lot. You guys might feel your glutes tomorrow. Good morning. All right, here we go. Get the other side. So right foot goes in. Remember, foot kind of high, or strap kind of high up on the foot, just below the toes. Sideways again here. So start by bending the knee, and then finding some stabilization. So maybe that's a wall or something that you can hold on to. Maybe you're just really working on stabilizing through the legs. So quad, glute, belly button up and in. Nice. So we started here on the first side with the elbows bent. We can took the arms out of it and focus a lot on that lower back bend. So start to take the foot away, and then maybe you start to lean forward. I'm all over the place on this side. Good. If you want to start to bring your arms in, you could straighten a bit through the arms. Yep, bend in the elbows. Chest up. Right. Gonna put a little extra leverage right on that lower lumbar as we bring in upper spine. So try to really focus on opening through the shoulders and lifting and extending through that thoracic middle part of the spine. Gonna help you get that stable, strong back bend without overdoing it in the lower back. Yeah, you guys. Keep rolling the hip down. Awesome. Let's try that sugar cane variation. So right arm will stay, left arm reaches down towards the floor. Still focusing a lot on that kick. Yeah, here's where we find our hamstring. Awesome. Okay, feel free to play around just a little bit more with that one if you like. When you're ready to come down, we'll let that go. Good, let's come on. Taking a forward fold here. Counteracting that big back bend. Okay. And then we'll come down onto the floor for a supine pigeon. Stretch out those glutes a little bit. Tons of different ways to do this glute stretch. We'll take this one in class, but you can also do this on the chair. You can do it against the wall. Lower down to your back, cross left ankle over right thigh. We'll keep your hands around the back of the right leg, pulling left ankle in. Left elbow has the leverage for it. Maybe you push the left knee away slightly, so like you're making your shin a little bit more parallel. If you feel any sensation in the knee at all, flex your left foot. And then if you like to, you can sway a little side to side. It's starting to let the heart rate come down as your breathing starts to slow. You find a couple circles for right ankle. Yeah, let's gently release. Left foot will hug both knees in, kind of a gentle motion either side to side or circle. We'll change sides. So right ankle over left thigh, grabbing behind the left leg. You push right knee away from you with the right elbow. you feel any sensation in that right knee, just flex the foot. Good. And then maybe swaying a little side to side. Looking for those spots. A couple circles with left ankle. And gently release. We'll take knees in the chest one more time. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, take up some space on your mat, finding a final relaxation pose that feels restful, peaceful, light. Got a little more time here. I invite you to stay, keep this restful time going. Get ready to move. Take another breath in. And on the exhale, come back to your body. Wiggling toes and fingers. Lifting ankles. And so gather your knees into your chest. Good. Breathing in. And on the exhale, just rolling to a side. Feeling the ground really stable underneath you. Gently pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. Good, let's take hands together at heart. The light in me honors, bows and surrenders to the light within each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Woo!
Really great class.
Like that.
Thank you. Oh, there we go.
I love the music.
Yeah, I
You
really
do?